We can push the ooze up by 3 as well if it doesn't get blocked. Yeah, we will still do. I mean, we have so many in our grave that taking them, it does not affect it anymore. We may as well hate on their grave a bit. In case there is an Agadeem's Awakening. So we trade with the whole field. What in the world could they top deck? A crab! Sploosh, baby! Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today I've got an original Gruul deck for you, fine-tuned for best of 1. We have an 80% win rate, and we played, oh gosh, must have been 10 plus matches. Where is it here? 8 and 2, 80% win rate. So yeah, 10 matches, and we are doing quite nicely with it, losing against Boros Aggro and Dimir Rogues once, but again, beating Rogues other than that as well. So a really cool deck for you guys, fine-tuned for best of 1, again with an 80% win rate. We are using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant right now. That's available for download for everyone for free within the Overwolf link in the description below. So with that all being said, I mentioned that the deck really revolves around the Swarm Shambler. This is a 0/0 that enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. And this is really nice because we can pretty easily put +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures via the Great Henge. When they get there, everything played will have a +1/+1 counter on it. Therefore, when it's removed, it will create an insect. This is also a stackable ability, so if you have multiple Shamblers in play, you'll get multiple insects, right? So, you know, if you have 4 Shamblers and they target something with a spell, if that something has a +1/+1 counter on it, obviously, you'll get 4 insects out of that. So that's really, really good and a very nice stackable ability. Don't worry, it gets even better than that, though. You can also pay 1 to tap it, putting an additional +1/+1 counter on Swarm Shambler, basically ensuring that you can, utilize some of your non-used mana from your last turn. So, you know, if you have 3 mana and only a 2-drop, you still play your 2-drop, you have that 1 mana left over, you wait for the attack phase of your opponent, you know that you can push your Shambler up by +1/+1. They don't realize this, they attack, they think they can trade with it. You buff it with the +1/+1 and tap it in defensive mode all in one to get the nice block and defeat of your opponent's attacker. Or if that doesn't work out, you know you'll die as well and you don't want to die, you can just keep it and utilize your mana on their end step to keep making it bigger every turn with your unused mana. We also have the Scavenging Ooze. This is a 2/2. We can pay 1 to put a +1/+1 counter on it by exiling a creature from a graveyard, also gaining 1 life when we do that. We can exile any card from a graveyard, but when it is a creature card, we do get the +1/+1 and gain 1 life. So, you know, that will have very high synergy, again, with our Swarm Shambler, because it's a early play that can equip itself with a +1/+1, which is nice. So it doesn't even need the help of the Great Henge, which we can talk about right now if anyone's unfamiliar. This is a 9-drop, and it does cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Once it enters the battlefield, we can immediately tap it for 2, so you do get some of that mana back right away. Plus, you gain 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature and draw a card. Typically, drawing the card is the real payoff here, but with the Swarm Shambler, the Great Henge is, absolutely amazing and very good synergy. Moving forward, we do have the Kazandu Mammoth. This is a 3/3 with landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, put +2/+2 on it until end of turn. You know, not bad. It creates a 5/5, which is relatively nice. And then, of course, the Valley enters tapped, adding a green to our pool. The Heart of Keld is one of the better cards in the deck and my preferred 3-drop if you know that you're safe to do so. A 3/3, it has first strike as long as it's your turn, which is really nice. And then looking at the top card of your library at any time is great, so you know what's coming next. And if it's a land, you can play it from the top of your library, which is very, very cool. So make sure that you're playing lands from the top of your library and not from your hand, so you're not drawing those lands, you're drawing non-land cards because you played the land from your library, hopefully. Anywho, Lovestruck Beast ×4. Now this is one of our adventure cards that's still in the deck. We don't have the Edgewell Innkeeper, but we still have Lovestruck Beast. The primary reason for this is, well, it's a 5/5, shuts down a lot of aggro attackers, plus it's a 5/5, more importantly, for 3. That 3 turn drop of a Lovestruck Beast opens up a turn 4 drop of the Great Henge. We're dropping the Henge by 5, that puts it down to 4. Playing the Henge on turn 4 is absolutely amazing. Not to mention, when you play it on turn 4, you'll be able to tap it on turn 4 to again gain 2 mana and gain 2 life, and hopefully playing a 2-drop like the Scavenging Ooze or Shambler underneath the Henge as well. So the Henge is really cool off the Lovestruck Beast. You know, you can also hit pretty hard with the Beasts because the Shamblers are 1/1s, which is pretty cool. The thing is, once the Henge is in play, most things will come out not as a 1/1. The Shambler will come out as a 2/2. The only thing that will still come out as a 1/1 is Heart's Desire, so you'll have to rely on that. But again, it's a good enough play just to get out there as the defender and then be able to basically reverse ramp into the Henge. One of my favorite cards in the deck is Phoenix of Ash. This is a 2/2 with Flying and Haste. We can pay 3 to pump it by +2/+0. We can also escape it from our graveyard, exiling 3 other cards from our graveyard, plus paying 4, and it does come in with a +1/+1 counter on it, which again is really high synergy with the Swarm Shambler. So when you escape your Phoenixes and they remove it, you'll get an insect. Very nice stuff here. What's great about the Phoenix is it has haste, so it's good in most matchups. It's good in control matchups. When they shatter the sky, they wipe the field, whatever. Extinction event, who cares? Ugin even. It comes out immediately and reapplies pressure. This is amazing. It also has escape. Escape is great against rogues. You can empty your graveyard of cards to make the rogue deck less efficient. Also, the replayability of it is increased because rogues will be putting so many cards in your graveyard. Exiling 3 will not be an issue. You can even probably be doing that every turn because I don't know if you've played against rogues, but they mill more than 3 cards per turn. So very, very high synergy within Phoenix of Ash and this Gruul deck. We do have Bonecrusher Giant as well, similar to Lovestruck Beast, but a little bit more relevant within the defensive capabilities of the deck. Other than just being the big body that can block, Stomp can deal 2 damage to any target. You know, that's pretty relevant. Sometimes I'd prefer that than just the big body most days. And then the creature is a 4/3 that whenever it becomes the target of a spell, it'll deal 2 damage to that spell's controller. This is, you know, it kind of gets a slight nod for me if I need to remove my opponent's creatures if there's anything really good in play. However, due to the Great Henge, if you play the Bonecrusher Giant on turn 3, you're not going to get to Henge on turn 4, right? So keep that in mind. If you do have the Henge, Lovestruck Beast. If you don't have the Henge, you know, typically maybe play defensively and try to stomp a Cobra, something like this. We've got 2 copies of Garruk Unleashed for loyalty when he enters, +1, putting +3/+3 and trample on target creature, which is, you know, excessive. We can also -2 to create a 3/3. If our opponent has more creatures than us, once we do that, we'll put a loyalty counter on it, so it only costs 1 when we do that. But do keep a note that it will go down by 2 first, so if it at any point reaches 0, your Garruk will die. But again, if you have 3 and they've got more creatures than you, you use -2, you go to 1, and then it'll go back up to 2, for example there. And then -7 just breaks the game. You get an emblem with at the beginning of your end step. You may search your library for a creature card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. And what we will be doing with the -7 is taking our Elder Gargaroth first and foremost. This is a 5-drop with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. Whenever it attacks or blocks, choose 1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You gain 3 life or draw a card. So, you know, depending on what you need right there, the Gargaroth is going to get it done with you. And Garruk's -7 is one of the greatest ways to get that in play. 4 copies of Questing Beast is great for the same reason of Phoenix of Ash. The haste is absolutely amazing. You see a wipe, it can enter play immediately. Attack your opponent. If it was an Ugin, then you're going to get to deal damage to your opponent and to the Ugin, so that's quite nice. It cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and then combat damage you deal with creatures cannot be prevented. And again, when you do deal that combat damage to the player, you'll deal that much damage to target planeswalker that they control as well. Vivien, Monsters Advocate ×2, one of my favorite cards against Dimir Rogues. Looking at the top card of our library, anytime similar to the Heart of Keld, except this time we can play creature cards from the top of our library. So if you have both out, you can just play creatures and land from the top of your library. Very nice. +1, create a 3/3 with either Reach, Vigilance, or Trample on it, which is decent. And -2, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and put it into the battlefield and shuffle your library. So obviously, if we have Vivien in play, our go-to is to play the Elder Gargaroth, and then we can play anything we want underneath of it. Typically, we go to Vivien, you know, against the rogue matchups, it's always the plus ability. Plus with reach, plus with reach, plus with reach. And that's going to shut down the rogues. If you do get into, you know, maybe some of the control matchups, that's where, you know, not only your +1 is now relevant with potentially vigilance, but your -2 becomes quite nice as well. So keep in mind that with the -2, you could potentially play Gargaroth into a questing beast in one turn, which is pretty cool for 5 mana. And that's value that you don't often see. We talked about the Gargaroth, we talked about the Henge. You know, we do have to top it off with a Cherry of Embercleave. It's flash spell for 6, 1 less to cast for each attacking creature we control. And then when Embercleave enters the battlefield, equip it to target creature you control. Equip creature gets +1/+1, double strike and trample. The re-equip cost is 3, so this should finish out the games for us quite easily, and we can probably equip that to almost anything. We do have 2 Castle Embereths, tap for 4, add +1/+0 to all of our creatures, 7 mountains, 11 forests, and then 4 pathways, the Timbercrown and Cragcrown Pathways. That always gets me. No sideboard today, we're playing best of 1, just showing off. And again, we do have an 80% win rate, demolishing almost every deck that we run into, thanks to the help of our Swarm Shambler. I don't know if it's because people aren't used to interacting with it, like they are with, you know, Edgewall Innkeeper, that they know is an automatic remove. So a really cool deck for you guys today, and I do hope I did a semi-decent job at explaining the strategies and synergies within the deck. And, you know, your overall game plan is to go wide, smash your opponent, equip Cleave, and annihilate them, right? Send them running to Runeterra. With that all being said, thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. We do have the 500,000 gem giveaway, free cash prize monthly tournaments, all that and more in the Discord. Check it out. I'll be back in a few minutes with our closing thoughts. Thanks again for your time and attention. We'll see you soon. Opponent goes first. Not a good sign. What is a good sign is this curve. 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. So I will go with that. And it seems to be another Izzet control, which is so sad. Let's get the Shambler in play, just so if it is targeted, we get the insect out of it. Because if they bounce, say the 1/1 Heart's Desire token, we get nothing. Gonna take the hit. We could have dumped mana to put it to 2, but I'm not sure how relevant that is when it will get bounced. So typically we play our Heart of Keld, but we know we have our 4-drop already, so we can Shambler. So if they're going to interact with the first, they will now. That frees up the mana for our Bonecrusher Giant. Let's take our hits for 2. Down to 17. Storm's Wrath's gonna slay us. Okay, this is really good, right? And we'll just take it here. Snag. Thank you. Our mana has now been used efficiently. They're holding it up. Let's play the Heart of Keld. Try to play land from the library instead of our hand, keeping card advantage. Not that we have it, but like trying to do our best to maintain it. Just another borrower, okay. And we do get the land on top, which is great. It comes in as a mountain or a red source. We keep one Shambler back. And our turn, we'll sink our mana into the Shambler. Trying to use all of our mana every turn efficiently. Stormcaller. I hope they don't shock us. Just a double opt. Okay. That's not the worst. Let's put a stop so it doesn't slay past it like sometimes it does. Right, I get nervous when I press resolve all that it's just gonna skip through everything. So let's see if they attack. I guess they do because it can't block, right? Let's take the damage. And then let's dump in. Our turn. Play the land on top, probably. Again, just working through our library more quickly. They've got creatures, so I'm not so worried about Storm's Wrath anymore. Yeah, they're tapped. Let's just go for it. The Questing Beast is kind of nice to save after Storm's Wrath if you think there's going to be one. It's hard to say, though. Let's just go for it. They'll probably trade with the Shambler. Oh, they might trade with the Beast. So I'm glad we went in with everything. Nice. Down to 8. I mean, we do have a Phoenix of Ash with haste if things go weird. It looks like they've got flyers. So that's awkward, but... Nice. Up to 87. Alrighty. We're coming back out of it. Establishing our quite successful win rate. Especially in best of 1. As far as I'm concerned. Let's not give off the fact that we have a Lovestruck Beast. I like to hide that, almost. If we can pull a Henge and then just sneak it out, I'm fine with it. Alright. They paid for that. Let's take our hit here. Oh, they didn't pay life for it. I see. I thought they did. That is a sign that we need to pay more attention to the match, right? Turn the tunes down a little bit. We're getting distracted. Midnight Clock, that's fine. We're not a rogue deck. First counter goes on it for our upkeep. Now I really think the Heart of Keld is the best play here. Just to ensure we get that land drop next turn. And that can ensure that we're able to play our beast rather than having not played the Keld and then drawing another beast and not getting our 4th land, right? So if you can drop the Heart of Keld on turn 3, it's really gonna help. And then we got the land underneath. Absolutely perfect, right? Now we're in a weird scenario. But I think we just go in with the beast because we have a duplicate, right? So if it gets removed, if we see a Storm's Wrath coming up or something, even this neutralize. It's whatever. Totally fine, and now we know they're tapped. We can hit for 6. Never mind. Hit for 3. We lose the heart. Interesting. This is it control? I've not played against this deck a ton. I can only assume they're using, you know, Brazen Borrowers and Shark Typhoons. Storm's Wrath, I'm sure as well. Ooh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Maze Mind Tome, I'm sure, is in their deck. Let's pull up their deck. The Lantern, again, it's so much anti-rogues that it's not really gonna affect us too negatively, I don't think. And they're burning out of cards, so unless this gets to 12, you know, that's not going to be great for them. We need the second red source. I'm going to play the beast, even though I'm sure there's a counter. Nope, there's not. They want to find one, that's for sure. Did they get it? Wow. That's fine. You do you, bro. Another Swarm Shambler, so if they do target something with a +1/+1 counter on it, it will double trigger and make 2 insects instead of the 1, which is, you know, always good. We will be able to, you know, use the ooze to take the beast to put a +1/+1 on it, unless they remove it right now. So if they're looking for a move, that's it, is getting that ooze out of play. Heart of Keld. Right, just so we can try to get that land drop off the top, and we do. It's an Embereth. We will attack for 4. Do they Midnight Clock for a draw, or do they Castle Vantress? Right, the Vantress results in scries immediately. Oh, they just shark it. Interesting, okay. Let's see where it goes first. Yeah, okay. They have a counterspell? Wow. Sploosh. Let's get the extra damage. Good for them. Of course they do. It is what it is. They're down to 6. The Borrower can't block, so they've got 2 cards in hand. The clock is 2 turns away from triggering, and, you know, hopefully we can get in there. It could just be a Storm's Wrath. That would be sad. Right? If they wipe and then they get the clock to draw 7 cards, it's game over. We have to push, though. I mean, obviously, the Shark blocks. Forward gets flashed in, but still does nothing. It might not even enter play because we have something like... That's not the game they need right now. They need to survive and get card advantage. And the Borrower does absolutely nothing for survival other than the original Petty Theft. They're thinking about it, right? So it's not an easy decision for them, which is good. That means, you know, our deck is performing, as we've seen, 80+% win rate so far. Which isn't good. Typically that means you've got a lot of losses coming up. Right? A string of Dimir Rogue matchups. Wow, nice. Sploosh. So they target both creatures, both that have the 1/1 on it. Our turn. Well, that solves the problem, doesn't it? Too bad we can't cast it from the top. We have first strike. I was worried about trading with the shark, but it's our turn, so that's no problem. We could Castle Embereth for 4, which leaves us 3. Yeah, let's take it, and then we can keep these other cards in hand in case something happens and we need to restart against them. I'm not playing the Lovestruck Beast, we're just chilling, right? Your go. Let's see how things fold out. Nice. And yeah, sitting at 85% win rate still, and we've played, oh, almost 10 matches so far. Okay. We'll be okay here. We still have a great win rate. 80%. That was an anomaly, as far as I'm concerned. What a life to live. Fervent Champion, representing. 2 1-drops we got beat by, right? Crazy. We will have the Bonecrusher Giant for removal. That's nice. Another champion. Rise of the Fervent Champion today, I guess. Let's just be grateful it's not rogues, I guess, right? Let's pass. We're gonna do it instant speed if there's an equip. Another champion, nice. Let's take the first. This is straight up night deck, interesting. I would have loved to have stomped that, in all honesty. I think just like a big body. General Kudro? We're getting beat up by 2 janked up decks, man. Let's Garruk into a -1. -2, but it grabs 1 back. No attacks, we're playing defensively. This is awkward, like, these are good creatures to have in play here. Oh my gosh. What is happening to us today? It's not rogues, but... God damn. Double block. Right, so we do get the removal. The humans at 3 is really good. Let's take the -2, which is basically a -1. Play our Mammoth just as the body. Or do we try to push to 5? Oh, it sucks so bad. No attacks, I guess. I don't know. The value of these dang knights. It's good. I'm glad to see it, in all honesty. Interesting. What a way to start the day. I guess another double block. We can't do the minus now.
I like to think big.
Let's see where we can get with it. I guess we have a Castle Embereth. The double strike on this, the 6/6 to 7/7 is still just generally worth it. And we still have 2 damage. It's not enough. We're at 14. I guess the question is, are they able to get us with their own cleave or something here? Right? A decent hit. We can stomp, and then we phoenix over, and that's a total for 6. They're gonna have to deal with Garruk here as well, right? So some of those attackers need to go his way. I don't think I even mind that. The fact that they're just killing our token. Is that relevant? They can still kill Garruk. I was worried about this match, and now not so much. Garruk's gonzo. Let's shoot this up top. More lands. We can't Phoenix, and oh no, we can. It's just doesn't matter. There we go. Phoenix boys. Lego Swarm Shambler, highly underrated, in my opinion. Kind of awkward art, but nonetheless, works great. Turn to Ooze, you know, not the greatest. Really? No blocks, obviously. He's got first strike, but that's a pretty cool equip there. I quite enjoy that. We may as well take our damage. Just makes sense. Wow. Sploosh in the air for 5. We are on one heck of a timer. We can push them. We're gonna Embercleave. Nice! That's really good. Wow. With the questing beast, we hit for 6, 7, 8, 9. And if this thing dies, we die. With the cleave, we hit for 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. That's really, 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 really nice. Oh my gosh. Good game. Sploosh. That's our first loss. We're sitting at an 80% win rate. Alright, typically I wouldn't keep this. There's no red, but we have 2 Shamblers. And that's been a big key to our success today. Oh. If we brick, then that's just not going to work out well for us. Come on, Phoenixes! I believe in you! Alright. 2 creatures that weren't land. We lose a land there. And that's not going to do us any well. This might be a wash. This might be a wash. Missing your land drop? What do you do? We're too greedy. right? Typically, I would never keep that hand on land principles, but we had the 2 Shamblers, so I was like, wow, I think we should risk it. Good game. Report a bug. There's no land drops. That's our turn. I mean, maybe they don't drop lands either. So we trade. That's fine with us. If not, they remove it and we make an insect and block the damage interaction, which is still good. Where is the mountain? We need a mountain. We need a mountain, you guys. Hey, it's a petty theft too. That could be a lot worse. Right, because we get to replay it. Come on! This is goddamn ridiculous. Without a doubt, goddamn ridiculous. And your turn. Bloosh. Yeah, it'd be really cool if I had, you know, some land. Attack without something else. I dare you. The Thought Thief could go in. I don't know why they wouldn't attack with that. It makes sense to me. The Enforcer I would keep back, right? We could insect block that. But this can go in free of charge. Alright. Buff up. Swarm Shambler. Alright, a little late. A little late. A little late. I don't even know what to do against the Scavenger at this point. This is still a match somehow. Let's try to deal with the Scavenger. They're not into it. Ending our turn. We can dump into our Shambler, but it's like we're so far behind from not hitting lands. Gross. Alright, so they're gonna take the mill and the life. We lose a cleave, whatever. We need the land. It's a big gain of life though. They're back up to 20, we're at 10. They just have us on a clock. Gross. There's no counter here, but it could be removed. It does have a +1/+1 on it, so the Shamblers will make 2 insects. But still awkward. 1 Shambler can strike. We can sneak the Gargaroth out for some life gain. That would help, I guess. Alright, Insect Nation. We've made it out of these situations before. I believe we can do it again. We have a Vivien in hand, you know what I mean? We pull that 5th land, she's going out, and she's making +3/+3s with reach. Help out our Phoenix of Ash. I believe. Right? 32 cards left, not good. They're missing their second blue source. Ground in the lock on our Phoenix. Why you do this to me? And then they get to just put us back on the clock. Ouch. And we don't get a land, so this is literally our only option, is to get back in the air and pray they don't have removal.
I aimed too high.
At a certain point, it doesn't matter. Right? They get to take 2 out. They basically do nothing. It's supposed to be chump blockers, but they're playing flyers. And I hate it. Can the Phoenix survive? That's the question. They have 5 cards in hand. I believe in you, Phoenix. Oh, and when we're exiling cards with the Phoenix, we should specifically be taking the cards of each individual type to lower the Scavenger's power. Take note of that. We'll mention that in the deck tech for you guys. Right? Playing multiple matches, learning those unique interactions so you can really juice those lemons. We don't get the land. That makes me sad. Getting rid of Embercleave, it's an artifact enchantment for them. Really helps. They counter this, that really sucks. They do. For attacks, I mean, I assume that there is a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Damage, not like it matters. We need to toss a creature. There's the Enforcer. More mill. We need to get in the air, man. No way. Yeah, that's a good game. So we could have went with Gargoth there too. It wouldn't have mattered. And Rogue squeezed us out, but we were so slow. We bricked for like what, 2 or 3 turns. So sad. We're close, and you know it is a good matchup against Rogues, and we'll continue to beat them. So a lot of people are playing with Edgewall Innkeeper as their first drop, and I find that it's such high priority removal that it almost never sees play. And when you play these Swarm Shamblers, they're like, well, that's not an Edgewall Innkeeper. I've not been told to remove it, so I guess I'll leave it there because it's got negative consequences if I do remove it, right? So it's like a card I think that people haven't played against enough yet, that they interact with it in an awkward state, and you can try to juice a little bit of value from that misunderstanding. Sometimes. Anyways, we'll see here. Right? Like, if it was Edgewall Innkeeper, it would have already been removed. Right? So then you get into the weird play mode when you do use the Innkeepers, that you're trying to drop the Innkeeper, and then directly on top of it, you know, the correct I hate this card. No blocks. Whatever. We could jump block. Is the thing. Ah, this mill sucks though. That's just 6. We're okay. Nope, that takes us to 8. God damn it. Rogues, man. It's like, are you having fun yet? Yep. So we're just gonna block with it. Get these cards out of here. Unless they destroy our Shambler. We'll pump it up. I guess there was a chump block after all. Right? They can destroy it here. We still interrupted the damage at least. Gross. We get the insects. Still not good. Clogging their field up at least, but still not good. Right? Still not good. Still not good. Still not good. Let's throw the Phoenix into play. You know, it's got a form of recursion through escape, so that's a thing. They're down to 2 cards. If there's no draw, we could be okay. How do they not just have more fire, though? Every time they do. Every time they do it. Yep. I will double block the Enforcer and then single block the Robber. I feel like, are they on stream with me? They're listening to us. Alright, let's just take this out. I'm sure they just sack it. Why wouldn't they? Take the draw. It's way better. Nope, just takes the trade. Alright. We have plenty of cards in the grave. Not only are we going to empty the grave here, right, that makes their spells a little bit less efficient. I mean, it's going to take a couple plays of it, but, you know, we'll get there eventually is the hope. Replaying our Phoenixes over and over and over, while they, oh my god, are, you know, losing card advantage, not drawing 5 cards in 1 turn. So that's gonna really help them. Needless to say. We'll probably just get milled out. So good. More Phoenixes are great, but at the end of the day, it's still scary. They should just keep those alive and just mill us. I shouldn't say these things out loud, as if they are listening, we're gonna help them out. They just want the mill, and they get the henge, which is a great pickup. Double block here. So we do get one of them. Well, the Ooze is really good as well. What's even better than the Ooze is they're tapped out, and we can just go to the +3 with Reach Machine. Right? I'm worried about getting milled. We're at 24, but if we can flex out, that would be okay. If they didn't have that into the story, we'd be winning. But unfortunately now they've got 4 cards in hand. Should be down to 0 and be top decking, but you know rogues. They don't top deck, and when they do, it's exactly what they need. Right? They have to all 3 go in on Vivien, or remove it with something else. Is it an Awakening? To pull 2 cards? That's awkward. 4 mana, no. You know, classic rogue stuff. You know, I don't... Ugh, inconceivable. They hate Vivien, though. Like, I absolutely love playing Vivien, Monsters Advocate, against the rogues. Her plus ability makes a 3/3 with reach, which shuts down every rogue that they have. It's a lot of fun. So they do have to kick it, because they know the threat that she poses, which is fine. We've got 2 really good defenders. They don't attack. We'll never get these cards out of our grave fast enough is the thing. Just more Phoenixes. I'm pretty sure that's our route. We can also use Heart's Desire. I guess this should be countered, maybe. Land and tapped. Let's start pushing our agenda. Right? And then hopefully we can top deck a cleave or something crazy. Watch them pull another into the story, you know what I mean? 2 cards in hand. Seagate, that's fine. What do they kick with it? It'd be funny if they kicked into the story. They only have 4 mana here, though. Ground in the lock gets kicked. Ouch. So we get the insect made, which is alright. And then we get rogued in, which we will double block. These enforcers have to go. Should quit speaking out loud. That's one of the things that I have to narrate, so when people do get on stream, it's just like they have such an advantage. No cards in hand. Heart of Keld comes in. Phoenix on top. That's not bad. Let's Shambler, because the Phoenixes have the 1/1s on them. So that's quite nice. You keep 1 Phoenix back to block. These Phoenixes are saving us. You know, main board, 4 copies of Phoenix of Ash against rogues. It helps. It helps. Down to 20 cards is unpleasant, though. That's just a simple trade. 1/1s do nothing. Mammoth on the top's not great. They should remove the Ooze. Yeah, good call. Or the Shambler, but it makes an insect. The Ooze is higher value, especially if we untap. Oh, nice. We're down to 8. You dog. You dog. More Phoenix. I think we go all in, right? We hit for 3, 6. But they have to block is the thing. We can push the ooze up by 3 as well if it doesn't get blocked. Yeah, we will still do. I mean, we have so many in our grave that taking them, it does not affect it anymore. We may as well hate on their grave a bit. In case there is an Agadeem's Awakening. So we trade with the whole field. What in the world could they top deck? A crab! Sploosh, baby! Got him! Woohoo! Up to an 88% win rate, and we're even winning against Dimir Rogues. Alright, what do you guys think of Swarm Shambler over the Edgewall Innkeeper? Should we be running both? Is one enough? What do you guys think? It's a little awkward. It makes me want to run kind of a different Gruul deck, but I don't know if it's good. One where we include both the Shambler and the Innkeeper, right? Or maybe potentially we go and make it a best of 3 deck and we play with the Shambler first, or maybe we play with the Innkeeper first, and then once our opponent's like, oh my gosh, there's the Innkeeper, or oh my gosh, there's that Shambler, I think we play the Shambler second. Yeah, so we play the Innkeeper first, right? They're like, I have to remove the Innkeeper. They get rid of it, and then in the second match we play the Shambler. They sub in more removal, and their removal just makes all the insects, right? We're big braining Gruul for you guys today, and we're going to take it in a different direction. Typically, you'd sideboard against the top meta decks, but we are just going to build a transference of strategy, synergy, and maybe we can double tap people, right? Get those 2 wins right away instead of just trying to duke it out as best we can against every single deck. You know, that may be a good way for best of 1 people to transition to best of 3, right? Just to mix up your strategy. To get used to the process, right? So again, thanks for your time and attention. I hope you guys enjoyed this 80% win rate non-adventures Gruul deck specialized for best of 1 for you guys today. I know a lot of you don't really feel too comfortable in best of 3 yet, so I've been trying to make more original best of 1 decks for you guys. Thanks for your time and attention. If you do want to support the channel, you can do so financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link. We've got exclusive content for you guys there, so check it out. And again, thank you all just for your time and attention. You're all amazing, and I hope you all have just a magical day. Enjoy Kaladesh, and we'll see you soon.